In this section, let's try to understand what is the role of tokens inside authentication and authorization flows. Many frameworks, including Spring Security Framework, uses token-based authentication and authorization, considering its most efficient way of validating the user details for each and every request that we receive from the client side. So basically, a token can be a plain string of format UUID, or it can be of industry standard tokens like JWT, which we call it as JSON Web Token, that get generated when user authenticated very first time into a system. We'll discuss more about what is JWT in the coming videos. For now, think that token is a value that get generated whenever the user first authenticated into a system. And the same token will be passed by the client system for all the further requests when the user trying to access a protected resource on the backend. The reason why they send the token is we don't have to share the credentials again and again over the network for each and every request. Instead, we can rely on the tokens. And there are also old ways of maintaining session IDs on the backend. We'll see what are the advantages of token compared to maintaining session IDs on the server side in the next video. But for now, look at this example where a client performed a login operation into an application. The authorization server or application which is staying at the backend, it will validate the user credentials, and if the user is valid, it generates a token and send to the client application either in the header or in query string of the response. Now the client will save this token either in local storage or any storage that they have access, and for every subsequent request that they are going to make to the backend, like I want to access my account details, which is a protected resource, I will pass this token along with the request that I want to send, either in the authorization header or wherever it is apt for my application. And once my backend application receives this token, it will validate whether this is really the same token that I generated initially. So basically, the server maintains all these tokens inside in the memory, or we also have some scenarios where applications maintain these details either in the database or some optimized memory servers like Redis memory server. So based upon the value that it obtained from the memory, the server will validate whether this is a valid token or not. If it is a really valid, then it will give the response that the client is expecting. Otherwise, the request will be stopped saying that the token is invalid. So now we understand what is the role of tokens inside any authentication flow. Let's try to understand what are the advantages with the token-based authentication and authorization compared to traditional ways of dealing authorization and authentication in the next video. Thank you and see you in the next video. Bye.